Hi, my name is Michael Roberts. I'm the founder of a company called Keytec Energy in South Africa. So my background was we were in the IoT space building solutions for our clients, and we were really looking at energy monitoring as part of our kind of solution stack. We'd started off in the coffee business, integrated into water, and the natural progression was around energy and understanding how we can add value. We call it the smart kitchen. We were looking for a smart solution to add value. And we had gone into a partnership with Schneider Electric at the time. We were basically trying to use that kind of stack, which is highly complicated and just big and cumbersome. And working in the QSR space, it wasn't really flexible into what we're trying to achieve. So what attracted me to Best.Energy was, first of all, the form factor was a bit of a blow away, like, wow, how did they get that right? And then second of all, the ease of the plug and play concept of the product, the fact that we could actually use the product without having to have specialist knowledge to go and configure it and install it. And my adage in life is, if I can do it, pretty much everybody should be able to do it. So maybe not a great one, but it's kind of how I live by. So for me, the simplicity of the product was amazing. And then the maturity of the product and the offering was also, wow, these guys have actually thought this thing through. And in line of what we were trying to do for the smart kitchen, it fitted within our kind of profile. It was small enough to put in and not become the talking point of what we were trying to do. We didn't want to sell hardware, we wanted to sell value and sell solutions. And so this just kind of led to the value that actually it suits what we were trying to achieve. Yeah. I think what made the leap to join Best.Energy was not only the form factor, but the ease of the product, but also the ability to scale the product. So what I really liked about it, the fact that it had the ability to add and adapt and add additional functionality, particularly things like cold chain. The temperature monitoring was quite an important part. We were able to add the gas metering as well and the water metering. So it kind of brought a bunch that we were already doing and just put it into one unified platform. And then the other part is just the software solution. The analytics was really next level. And the feedback loop is what we were looking for as well in terms of client engagement. I think whenever you put money down, there's always the question, what am I committing to here and what am I investing in? So I think the question was, okay, where's the value? And I think what really surprised me was, first of all, the hoops I had to go through to get onboarded. So it was it wasn't just a give and take. So that I was vetted as well, and so I felt like they did their due diligence. And then the ability to speak to partners that were really in the game and understand and the fact that they were global was a huge value for us. And the penetration was a big positive as well. So what excites me about energy efficiency, it's a growing market. First of all, the price of energy is going one way, so we're all very much aware of what's coming. And I think so it's becoming very much a focus point, particularly in business operations. So our goal as a business is always around bringing transparency to our clients, allowing them to take that data, that insight, become optimized, and then impact the bottom line. And I think this feeds that narrative straight out. And the fact that we're in the game now, what I like about it is the constant innovation, the group mentality, the support network is really impressive as well. It's just a really cool product, actually. So for me, since day one, the biggest benefit was the access to training material, access to content, the access to people, and then the support network. And I think I've said this to the guys a couple of times, is the support has been next to none. There's never been an issue we've raised. At anything, at one stage, I felt I was abusing it because we were raising tickets all the time. But the interaction was great, and the feedback from the support team was very positive. They're the unsung heroes. But particularly for us that were new into the game, they were really supportive. Anything we didn't understand, there was access to information. There's more than enough information, actually sometimes too much information, which is great. So they become a bit of a steer into where do I find something as well. So the support's been impressive, actually. The markets we're focusing on is QSR at the moment. It's a market we've been playing in already. It's a market I understand quite well myself. I've owned a restaurant in the past, so I understand where the trouble and pain points are. We're looking at retail in terms of that process. It's the evolution of what we're trying to achieve. And then because the product is so flexible, we're integrating hospitality industries like golf courses, gym clubs, golf clubs, country clubs. That's the kind of place we're playing in at the moment as well. So we're a pretty lean machine. I think we have, as in terms of organization, we've got a business development team, which is sales and marketing, and that's 2 people. We have our typical accounting and finance, which is another 2 people. And then on the ground, it's myself and my technical guys. We've got 2 technical support guys. And then we outsource the skilled stuff, like the electricians. We bring them in on a contractual basis for COCs and installation validations. And then anything we do outside of our comfort area or our area, we also bring in additional resources. So we try to keep it lean. But I think one of the takeaways from this last MasterMind event is I think I need to grow the team and in-house some of the skill sets, so better control and better quality management as well. So LinkedIn for us is pretty cool. And then network generation. I suppose LinkedIn is part of that process. We leverage our network quite extensively to go and get engaged with people. And then I think what we're doing quite well at the moment is using our current clients as reference points. So they all kind of know each other. So we're doing well with, for example, Burger King. They've opened doors for us in other industries as well. So we're talking to other sectors at the moment. So, yeah. So we were quite lucky. We came on board with a client, Burger King, and when we started here, we had 2 Burger Kings installed. We've now gone to 15 Burger Kings already. The fact that they're loving what we're showing, we've identified a whole bunch of opportunities already. So they've agreed to grow across the footprint. There are 140 shops across the country. So that's our opportunity, and now we just got to continue showing value to close that out completely. So we've got a great reference client, which we're quite lucky about, quite grateful for, and that's opening up other doors for us as well. So in terms of the future pipeline and projects, it's quite exciting. We've got a few real big opportunities to kind of land. Work to be done still, but KFC is definitely chomping at the bits. We have a discussion with them in early March to see how we can onboard them and show the value. We're talking to a big retail group as well that do supermarkets, and they're like a franchise group as well. So there's a big opportunity in that space as well for us. Quite excited actually. Biggest challenge in getting clients over the line is always the understanding of the cost base. I think they all know it's an expensive piece of cost in terms of energy, but giving them the ability to do something about it. And I think that educational oversight is where we close the gap and say, hey guys, here's a real potential for you to get over the line. And I think what really kind of makes it cemented in terms of landing is the guarantees, the ability that we can demonstrate the savings and cover the cost of the platform. The primary motivator for our clients to onboard with us is the ability to realize the actual savings and to see where the waste is going. I think transparency is always a great tool until you see things that you didn't realize. And I think that for us, part of that engagement is making sure they're mature enough to understand the data set, what it's showing them, and then to give them that actionable insight to go and do something about it. And I think the fact that we back it with a guarantee means we put our money where our mouth is, which is pretty cool. So one of the other huge benefits that Best.Energy brought to the table was a well-trodden roadmap of how to do this stuff. So it was pretty much a gift in the box saying, this is how you do it. It's well-defined, it's proven, it's a track record. So we've kind of made sure we follow that process as far as possible, and it's successful, so it works. So we've proved that works. Trying to go off-piste doesn't always help. You get stuck in deep snow by doing that. So being part of the best MasterMind group at the Best.Energy for me was, first of all, opening up to the network. That was quite exciting. The ability to learn from other people around me has been huge. And then also to have people that are in the same market I'm in and understanding what their journey. So the fact that there's people going ahead of me and leading the way kind of actually helps tremendously, actually. My thoughts so far on Best.Energy stack as a technology stack is, as I said, I think early on is the form factor. The design is really, really smart. The plug and play just makes it next level. The ability to use the technology and the software is really simple and straightforward. And so it takes away the complexity of what we're trying to achieve. It kind of really makes it accessible to the client. I suppose in terms of where Best.Energy can improve, I suppose it would be always the knowledge sharing of what's actually happening in the wider group. So I think these events bring it to the light where we start to share in informal settings. I think a more formal process of kind of like a reference point of I'm doing this, who else has done it, try and not repeat the sins of the past, and learn from others. I think that's a huge opportunity. So my decision today, if I reflect on where I am, I'm super excited that I took the decision to join Best.Energy. I think it's proven its value without a doubt in terms of the product. And I think it was a great decision to make. I think the future is definitely bright in terms of what we're going to go towards. I think the learnings from this MasterMind event is actually just almost really well needed at this time of journey. There's always that kind of flat period, almost a plateau, like where to next. And this has just reinvigorated the excitement and the energy. I've learned a ton, and I think we're going to change the way we sell the product, particularly from the rental and the licensing or the lease agreement. So the financing for me is definitely the eyes have opened to what financing can do, and makes it a lot more simpler to sell as well. So we're definitely going to focus back on that. I think I'm super glad we did it. I think we're going to grow the team now as well, which is super exciting. And the fact that the market's getting bigger is just definitely helpful, yeah.